What's up guys and girls, it's me, your favorite geek, EMKWAN, here with a collaboration video with GadgetsBoy. Now we're really excited to bring you this first review because we've managed to get our hands on the Samsung Galaxy S3 days before the UK and worldwide release. And never has there been so much anticipation over an Android smartphone as there has been with this S3. Reason being, well, it's got a lot to live up to. First of all, a very successful predecessor, the S2. Tons and tons of sales with that, as well as a recent attempt by HTC in the shape of the One X to kind of shift and move Samsung's position as the leading Android smartphone manufacturer. And it's got a UK release date of the 29th of May, which is around the corner, and we're going to start looking off or kicking off this review by looking at the hardware. Now the hardware on this device looks very similar to another Android smartphone, which is the Samsung Galaxy Nexus. All the positions of the buttons are very similar to what you would expect with the other device, including the sleep-wake position, and it's got a 3.5mm headphone jack, as well as some familiar holes at the front of the device. Now what are these holes for? Well, you've got a front-facing camera, you've also got a light sensitive button, as well as a key new feature on this device, which is Smart Stay, and we'll show you how that works a little later on. Now the display on this thing is massive. It's a 4.8-inch Super AMOLED pentile display. It sports a 1280 by 720 resolution that gives you about 306 ppi, slightly under the HTC One X's ppi of 312 and below the 4S's ppi of 330. Now overall, the 4.8-inch screen is gonna, if you've got smaller hands and you want to use it as a one-hand device, you are going to struggle a little to get up to the notifications and just the overall sheer real estate of the display. It's got an 8-megapixel camera with an LED flash, and it's got a finish of a super, it's known as a hyperglaze. That's what Samsung is calling it, which is basically a shiny polycarbonate. Now it's, in our opinion, it just makes the whole device look a little cheap, and you're either going to love it or loathe it. It's one of those either premium products or not so premium products. Now the device comes with a 16GB, this is a 16GB version, and it can be expandable up to 64GB with an SD card. You also get 50GB courtesy of Dropbox, so it's going to give you plenty of space to store your video and photos and all the other app goodness that's available on the Android marketplace. Now operating system wise, it's got, you know, Ice Cream Sandwich. It comes with Ice Cream Sandwich Android 4.0, and some of the new iterations to the OS can be seen in the keyboard. In our opinion, the keyboard was really pleasantly easy to use, particularly with this large real estate, and if you turn it in landscape mode, you're going to get even more space to type. Now it also runs a version of Touchwiz. Now Touchwiz is one of those, again, love or loathe situations. Samsung's Touchwiz is basically a layer that's added to the Android OS, and you can see here overall the use of the Android OS, it's really smooth on this device. Why wouldn't it be? You've got 1.4 gigahertz quad-core Exynos processor, so that means that it's fast and fluid, and really switching between apps, you know, moving between applications and functions is unbelievably smooth. In the opinion of GadgetsBoy, it's nuts. And you can also see that in the browser. The browser on this device, again, is really fluid. It's smooth. You've got the ability to smooth in and out. No issues there when it comes to sort of messing around with things. Now, one of the really cool features on this device, which was advertised, we've not seen very many other people address this, is this pop out and play feature. Now what pop out and play is that you can play a video, right, and you can actually still browse on the device. So this is it, pop out and play, and we're looking on the browser, and you can move that video across the screen. This on real estate like the Samsung S3 is a really awesome feature to have, and it's something that, you know, we wish more operating systems would do. Now again, that 1.4 gigahertz quad-core processor is going to allow you to multifunction really easily. Now, one of the big announcements with the S3 was SVoice. Now, this is Samsung or Android's version of Siri.
What is the weather like?
And you can see here, even with GadgetsBoy's really strong Birmingham accent, it still managed to pick it up. Now Siri's an interesting feature. SVoice rather, is a very interesting feature, but it's something that through our testing is a little hazy at the moment, a bit like Siri for the iPhone 4S. Now one of the other really cool features that was advertised, particularly on the camera function, was SmartBurst. Now SmartBurst is really interesting. Through the options you can allow it to take really fast multiple images. Just have a listen to that shutter speed. It works really well and allows you to take multiple ranges of images. Now let's compare this device, the S3, with some of the other major smartphones that are out there. This includes the Galaxy Note. You can see that's a much bigger device, and then the iPhone 4S, which compared to the S3 looks like a really miniature screen display experience. You can see the thickness now as well compared to those two other devices, and here it's really noticeable with the iPhone 4S. The iPhone 4S at one point was a slim device, but really with the S3 now, it's given the iPhone 4S a run for its money. Here's a comparison between the Galaxy Nexus and the S3. You can see these two devices look very similar, both in size, in the overall finish, and even the tapered edges. So that's the difference between the two of them. So to summarize, really this is going to be one of the best Android smartphones when it does come to market. It's going to be extremely popular. We have no doubt that it's going to sell way better than the S2. Overall, as a finish, it feels like a very polished finish, and definitely the small iterations and changes to the OS to bring it on par with some of the other operating systems that are out there are going to mean that the S3 is going to be a success. So if you're an Android fanboy, or if you're somebody that's thinking of jumping ship, then this device is definitely worth considering. Thank you very much for watching this review. A massive thanks to GadgetsBoy. You can find out more about the dude, links will be down below, and make sure you come back to watch another Avora TV video. Peace and blessings.